Did you know that most women are being misled about something they experience every single month? What if everything you thought you knew about your period, your cramps, your mood swings, even your cycle length was only half the truth? Today, we're uncovering the science they didn't tell you. Welcome to Woman Healthy Tips, your go-to place for smart, science-backed advice to feel stronger, healthier, and in control of your body. If you've ever felt frustrated, confused, or even lied to about your period, you're not alone, and today, I'm going to give you clarity. Let's dive into 6 surprising truths about your period that they didn't tell you and what you can do about them. Did you know that your period is far more than just a monthly inconvenience? Most women are conditioned to believe that the bleeding is the main event, the central feature of their cycle, and that everything else, cramps, mood swings, fatigue, is something to simply endure. But the truth is, your period is a window into your overall health, a monthly report from your body that can reveal so much about your hormonal balance, nutrition, and even emotional well-being. Too often, society normalizes irregularities or discomfort as if they are inevitable. But when you start paying attention to your cycle beyond just the bleeding, you uncover patterns, clues, and warnings that can transform your health. Your period is like a language your body speaks, and learning to understand it can be empowering. When you track your cycles, notice the length, flow, and symptoms, you begin to see the subtle shifts that signal stress, changes in diet, or potential medical issues. For instance, a cycle that is shorter or longer than usual might indicate thyroid problems, elevated stress levels, or nutrient imbalances. Rather than dismissing irregular periods as normal for women, recognizing them as messages from your body allows you to address underlying concerns before they become chronic issues. Many women find that simply paying attention to their cycle length and patterns over a few months reveals connections to lifestyle factors like sleep, stress, and nutrition. If you notice that your period consistently comes early or late, it's not random. Your body is responding to internal and external influences. By understanding this, you can take practical steps to balance your hormones naturally. Monitoring your cycle also helps you anticipate times when your energy will peak or dip, which can be vital for planning work, exercise, and rest. In other words, your period isn't just a monthly inconvenience, it's a dynamic signal system designed to keep you in tune with your body's needs. Cramps are another area where misinformation is rampant. For decades, women have been told that pain during periods is normal, something to quietly accept, as if suffering were an essential part of femininity. But this is misleading. While mild discomfort can be a natural part of menstruation, intense, persistent, or debilitating cramps are not normal and can indicate underlying medical conditions such as endometriosis, adenomyosis, or uterine fibroids. Many women grow up believing they have to live with pain, often relying on over-the-counter painkillers without ever investigating the root cause. Consider the story of a woman who had severe cramps every month since her teenage years. She assumed it was just a part of being a woman until she finally consulted a doctor and discovered she had endometriosis. With the right treatment and lifestyle adjustments, her cramps were drastically reduced and her quality of life improved dramatically. The takeaway is clear. Cramps are your body's way of communicating that something needs attention. Ignoring them or normalizing severe pain can delay diagnosis and treatment of conditions that affect not only your reproductive health, but your overall well-being. Understanding the science behind cramps can also empower you to take practical steps to alleviate them naturally. For example, inflammation plays a significant role in menstrual pain, and certain foods can either exacerbate or reduce this inflammation. Diets rich in omega-3 fatty acids, leafy greens, and anti-inflammatory foods can help reduce discomfort. Conversely, high sugar intake and processed foods may worsen cramps. Exercise is another powerful tool. While it might seem counterintuitive to move when in pain, gentle movement and stretching can improve blood flow, reduce inflammation, and release endorphins, which act as natural painkillers. Heat therapy, such as using a heating pad or warm bath, also relaxes muscles and eases discomfort. Beyond these physical strategies, stress management is crucial because stress hormones can amplify pain perception and disrupt hormonal balance, further affecting your cycle. Simple practices like meditation, breathing exercises, or short periods of mindfulness can make a tangible difference in how your body experiences menstruation. By combining medical guidance with practical lifestyle strategies, cramps no longer need to dominate your cycle. They become manageable signals you can respond to thoughtfully. Cramps also intersect with mental health. Many women experience increased irritability, anxiety, or emotional sensitivity during their periods, and the link between physical discomfort and mood is often overlooked. Chronic pain can contribute to stress and emotional fatigue, creating a cycle where discomfort feeds emotional instability, which in turn can worsen physical symptoms. Recognizing this connection is essential because it reframes your experience. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it's communicating. By acknowledging pain and addressing it proactively through lifestyle changes, medical consultation, and emotional support, you reclaim control over your cycle rather than letting it control you. Another important aspect of understanding your period is realizing that the bleeding itself is only one phase of a complex hormonal rhythm. Many women are surprised to learn that the cycle consists of multiple phases, each with its own hormonal shifts and physical changes. The follicular phase, starting with menstruation, involves rising estrogen levels that prepare your body for ovulation. This phase is often associated with increased energy, focus, and motivation. The ovulatory phase, mid-cycle, can enhance cognitive performance and social interaction due to hormonal surges. The luteal phase, following ovulation, brings progesterone dominance, often resulting in mild fatigue, mood shifts, and physical symptoms like bloating. Understanding these phases gives context to cramps and other symptoms, helping you interpret what your body is communicating and respond accordingly. For instance, experiencing mild cramps early in the follicular phase may be entirely normal, but severe pain during ovulation or the luteal phase warrants attention. By mapping your cycle, you learn patterns unique to your body, empowering you to plan your life, exercise, and work according to your natural rhythm. Nutrition also plays a critical role in both the regularity of your cycle and the intensity of cramps. Deficiencies in iron, magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids are linked to heavier bleeding, more painful periods, and longer recovery times. Iron is especially important because blood loss during menstruation can lead to depletion, contributing to fatigue, dizziness, and even mood disturbances. Magnesium has a calming effect on muscles and nerves, helping reduce cramps and tension. Vitamin D helps regulate hormonal function and inflammatory responses, while omega-3 seconds reduce inflammation that can worsen pain. Ensuring adequate intake of these nutrients through diet or supplementation can transform your experience of menstruation from one of discomfort to one of manageable, predictable patterns. Tracking your nutrient intake alongside your cycle can reveal clear correlations between what you eat and how your body responds, giving you actionable data to optimize your health. Hydration and lifestyle habits are also underestimated but crucial elements. Dehydration can intensify bloating, fatigue, and even cramp severity, so maintaining proper fluid intake throughout your cycle is essential. Likewise, quality sleep is intertwined with hormonal balance. Poor sleep disrupts cortisol and estrogen rhythms, which can lead to heavier bleeding, mood swings, and prolonged cramps. Exercise, stress management, and mindful self-care routines work synergistically to improve cycle regularity and reduce pain. Approaching your period as a signal system rather than an inconvenience encourages you to see it as a holistic indicator of health rather than a monthly nuisance. Understanding that cramps are not a normal inevitability and that your period is more than bleeding is revolutionary because it changes your perspective from passive acceptance to proactive management. The first step is awareness. Track your cycle diligently for several months, noting the length, flow, intensity of symptoms, and any lifestyle factors that might influence them. Awareness leads to insight. Insight leads to informed action, whether it is consulting a healthcare professional for severe cramps, optimizing nutrition, adjusting exercise, or incorporating stress-reducing practices. By learning to read your body's messages, you shift from being a passive observer to an active participant in your health, taking control of symptoms that were once accepted as unchangeable. Ultimately, the key lesson from understanding your period and cramps is empowerment. Your body communicates with you every month, offering clues, guidance, and sometimes warnings. The more you understand, the better you can respond. Cramps and irregularities are not signs of weakness or inevitability. They are information. They tell you where to focus attention, which habits to improve, and when to seek professional advice. When you internalize this approach, menstruation becomes less about frustration and more about self-awareness, health optimization, and proactive care. By shifting your perspective and implementing practical steps, you reclaim autonomy over your cycle, reduce unnecessary suffering, and harness the natural signals of your body to live a healthier, more balanced life. This understanding is especially important in a society that has normalized misinformation about menstruation for generations. Women are often led to believe that suffering quietly is part of being female, that tracking symptoms is unnecessary, and that medication is the only solution. But the science says otherwise. Your period is a dynamic, complex biological process full of insight, and cramps are your body's way of demanding attention. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward transforming your monthly experience from one of passive endurance to active engagement and care. Every small action you take, from improving nutrition to tracking cycles, from stress management to consulting healthcare professionals, has a measurable impact on your health and your quality of life. By understanding your period as a signal rather than a burden, and by refusing to accept severe pain as normal, you not only improve your reproductive health, but also enhance energy, mood, and overall well-being. Each month becomes an opportunity to observe, learn, and adjust. This perspective encourages a holistic approach to health, integrating nutrition, exercise, stress management, sleep, and medical guidance into a lifestyle that honors your body's rhythms. Over time, this not only reduces pain and irregularities, but also fosters a deep connection to your body, transforming how you experience your menstrual cycle and empowering you to take control in ways many women never imagined possible. Many women are told that premenstrual syndrome, or PMS, is just about mood swings and irritability. But the truth is far more complex. PMS is a multifaceted phenomenon influenced not only by hormonal fluctuations, but also by nutrition, sleep, gut health, and lifestyle factors. It's a misconception to assume that emotional ups and downs are simply part of being a woman. Your body is trying to communicate through these symptoms, giving you signals about areas of imbalance that can be addressed rather than ignored. For example, the same level of hormonal fluctuation can produce mild or severe symptoms depending on what you eat, how well you sleep, and how stressed you are. When a woman experiences intense bloating, fatigue, or irritability, it is often a combination of estrogen and progesterone shifts, interacting with inflammation, nutritional gaps, and even gut microbiome imbalances. Understanding PMS as a system-wide signal rather than an isolated monthly inconvenience empowers women to take control and make changes that reduce the intensity of symptoms. Nutrition is one of the most overlooked factors in PMS management. Blood sugar fluctuations can dramatically influence mood, energy, and cravings during the premenstrual phase. When a woman consumes high amounts of refined sugar or processed foods, insulin spikes and crashes can exacerbate irritability and fatigue. On the other hand, a diet rich in complex carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fats helps stabilize blood sugar, reducing emotional swings and energy crashes. Magnesium, vitamin B6, and calcium have also been shown to influence neurotransmitters and hormone regulation, helping ease symptoms of PMS. For example, magnesium relaxes muscles and calms the nervous system, which can reduce both physical discomfort and emotional tension. Simple dietary adjustments, like adding leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, can have a profound effect on how you experience the days leading up to your period. Gut health plays a surprising role in PMS, yet it is rarely discussed. The gut microbiome is intimately connected to hormone metabolism, including estrogen, which fluctuates significantly across the cycle. An imbalanced gut can lead to estrogen dominance, which often results in bloating, mood disturbances, and fatigue. Probiotic-rich foods like yogurt, kefir, fermented vegetables, or supplements can support a healthier microbiome, improve digestion, and even alleviate some of the emotional and physical symptoms associated with PMS. Additionally, fiber intake helps your body eliminate excess estrogen, reducing hormonal imbalance that contributes to premenstrual discomfort. Tracking your diet and observing how certain foods impact your premenstrual symptoms is a practical way to take control and adjust your lifestyle for a smoother cycle experience. Sleep is another critical but underappreciated factor in PMS management. Poor sleep amplifies cortisol levels, which interacts with sex hormones and can worsen emotional sensitivity, fatigue, and cravings. Women who consistently experience disrupted sleep may notice that their premenstrual symptoms are more severe or prolonged. Addressing sleep hygiene through regular sleep schedules, reducing screen time before bed, and creating a calming nighttime routine can help balance hormones and reduce PMS severity. The body is highly sensitive to environmental and behavioral cues, so consistent sleep patterns and stress management are not luxuries. They are essential tools for moderating the impact of premenstrual hormonal shifts. Stress management is equally important because stress hormones can amplify both physical and emotional PMS symptoms. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, can interfere with progesterone production, creating imbalance and worsening mood swings, fatigue, and bloating. Regular practices such as deep breathing, meditation, yoga, or even brief walks in nature can lower cortisol levels and help the body regulate hormones more effectively. Small daily practices compound over time, resulting in cycles that feel more predictable and symptoms that are easier to manage. Recognizing that PMS is not an unavoidable curse but a signal system that responds to lifestyle choices is empowering. It transforms the premenstrual phase from a period of frustration into an opportunity to observe, learn, and optimize health. Understanding the role of nutrition, sleep, gut health, and stress management provides actionable strategies, but it also reframes the narrative around PMS. Rather than enduring symptoms in silence, women can actively respond to the body's signals with interventions that reduce discomfort and improve overall well-being. Simple practices like keeping a symptom diary, experimenting with dietary adjustments, prioritizing sleep, and incorporating stress reduction techniques create a foundation for longer-term hormonal balance and reduced premenstrual distress. Over time, this approach not only diminishes the severity of PMS, but also builds awareness and respect for your body's natural rhythms. Moving on, another critical area that is often misunderstood is how your menstrual cycle can reveal hidden nutrient deficiencies. Many women experience irregular cycles, heavy bleeding, or persistent fatigue, and assume these are normal, when in fact they can indicate deficiencies that are impacting hormone production and menstrual health. Iron is one of the most common examples, as it is lost through menstruation and often not replenished sufficiently through diet. Low iron levels can lead to fatigue, dizziness, poor concentration, and even worsen menstrual symptoms. Regular blood tests can identify deficiencies before they cause long-term health issues, allowing women to make informed choices about supplementation and diet. Magnesium is another vital nutrient that directly impacts menstrual health. It supports nerve and muscle function, regulates blood sugar, and plays a role in hormone production. Low magnesium can exacerbate cramps, irritability, and bloating, particularly during the luteal phase of the cycle. By consciously including magnesium-rich foods such as dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, or using supplements under guidance, women can significantly reduce discomfort. Similarly, vitamin D supports hormone regulation, immune function, and mood stabilization. Deficiency in vitamin D is surprisingly common and often overlooked, yet supplementing or optimizing sun exposure can improve cycle regularity and reduce premenstrual symptoms. Omega-3 fatty acids also deserve attention because of their anti-inflammatory properties. Menstrual cramps and premenstrual inflammation are often intensified by diets low in omega-3 seconds. Including fatty fish, flax seeds, or chia seeds can modulate inflammatory responses in the body, reducing both physical pain and mood disturbances. These nutrient interventions are not quick fixes. They are part of a holistic approach that requires observation, experimentation, and consistency. However, the results can be transformative, turning a cycle that once felt unpredictable and painful into one that is manageable, predictable, and even informative. Recognizing nutrient deficiencies also highlights the importance of listening to your body and tracking your cycle meticulously. Irregularities, heavy flows, prolonged fatigue, or unusually severe PMS are not merely inconveniences. They are messages. Each symptom offers insight into what your body lacks and what it needs. For instance, prolonged heavy bleeding could indicate iron deficiency, while persistent fatigue may suggest low vitamin D or magnesium levels. By addressing these deficiencies proactively, women can prevent further complications, improve energy, reduce pain, and support overall hormonal health. Lifestyle habits also intersect with nutrient deficiencies and cycle health. Hydration, sleep, stress management, and exercise all influence how nutrients are absorbed and utilized. Dehydration can worsen bloating and cramping, poor sleep disrupts hormonal balance, and chronic stress can interfere with nutrient metabolism and hormone production. Exercise, particularly strength training and gentle cardio, enhances circulation, reduces inflammation, and helps regulate hormones. Approaching nutrition and lifestyle holistically ensures that interventions are effective, sustainable, and supportive of long-term health rather than temporary fixes. Understanding your cycle as a window into nutrient status and overall health shifts the perspective from passive acceptance to proactive empowerment. No longer are irregularities and symptoms merely tolerated, they are investigated, understood, and addressed with practical solutions. This approach encourages women to take responsibility for their health, experiment with strategies that improve nutrition and lifestyle, and track results to optimize outcomes. Over time, this not only improves menstrual health, but also enhances energy, mood, and overall quality of life. In summary, PMS and nutrient deficiencies are not isolated problems. They are interwoven signals from the body that indicate how well your hormones, diet, and lifestyle are aligned. Recognizing this transforms the experience of your period from a monthly challenge into a source of insight and empowerment. PMS is not an unavoidable burden, but a system that responds to diet, sleep, stress, and nutrient intake. Similarly, cycles reveal nutritional gaps and health patterns that, when addressed, can lead to dramatic improvements in comfort, energy, and overall well-being. Paying attention to these signals, making informed adjustments, and using your cycle as a guide turns menstruation into a powerful tool for self-awareness and health optimization. The key lesson is that your body communicates with you constantly, and the premenstrual phase and menstrual cycle are rich with information. By tracking symptoms, optimizing nutrition, managing stress, and ensuring adequate sleep, you can minimize discomfort, correct deficiencies, and build a sustainable approach to hormonal health. Over time, these strategies not only alleviate PMS symptoms, but also enhance your understanding of your body's rhythms, transforming how you experience your period, and empowering you to take control of your health in a way that few women are taught to do. By seeing your cycle as a guide rather than a burden, you reclaim agency over your well-being, turning what was once a frustrating monthly occurrence into a source of insight, balance, and strength. Many women are told that birth control pills are the ultimate solution for regulating periods or managing cramps, PMS, or irregular cycles. The narrative is so widespread that most people assume it is the only effective method. However, this is a misconception. Birth control is not a cure. It is a tool that masks underlying issues rather than addressing their root causes. When women rely solely on synthetic hormones, their natural hormonal rhythm is overridden, and while symptoms may appear controlled, the underlying imbalances remain unresolved. For example, if irregular cycles are caused by stress, nutrient deficiencies, or thyroid dysfunction, taking birth control might temporarily regulate bleeding, but it does nothing to restore optimal hormone function. Over time, this can lead to a disconnect between symptoms and actual health, making it difficult to identify the real issues when they resurface. Understanding this perspective is empowering because it encourages women to explore alternatives and work with their bodies rather than rely on a temporary fix. Many women do benefit from birth control for specific reasons, such as preventing pregnancy or managing acute symptoms, but relying on it as a default solution can obscure valuable information. Your menstrual cycle is a natural signal system designed to communicate your hormonal balance and overall health. Masking it with synthetic hormones is like covering up warning lights on a car dashboard without checking the engine. To optimize menstrual health, it is essential to consider lifestyle, nutrition, stress management, and underlying medical conditions before choosing medication as the first line of defense. For example, small dietary changes, increased physical activity, stress reduction practices, and addressing nutrient deficiencies can often restore regular cycles and reduce symptoms significantly without immediately resorting to synthetic hormones. This approach emphasizes proactive health management rather than passive symptom suppression. Education about natural alternatives and understanding your hormonal system is key to reducing dependence on birth control. Many women discover that balancing blood sugar, improving sleep, managing stress, and supporting liver and gut function leads to regular cycles, lighter bleeding, and fewer cramps. Herbal remedies like chasteberry, certain teas, and anti-inflammatory botanicals have been used for centuries to support hormonal balance. Combined with evidence-based practices like magnesium and omega-3 supplementation, these natural approaches can reduce premenstrual symptoms and enhance cycle regularity. The takeaway is that while birth control can be a helpful tool in certain situations, it is not the only solution, and exploring natural approaches gives women agency over their hormonal health. Another important point is that the menstrual cycle is not a burden but a superpower when understood and utilized properly. Many women view their periods as inconvenient, painful, or disruptive, but this perception is shaped by misinformation and societal norms rather than biology. The menstrual cycle is a finely tuned rhythm that influences energy, focus, emotional processing, and physical performance throughout the month. For instance, the follicular phase, starting with menstruation, is characterized by rising estrogen levels, which often bring increased energy, motivation, and cognitive clarity. Women who learn to harness this phase can schedule high-intensity workouts, important work tasks, or creative projects during these peak energy days. The ovulatory phase brings peak estrogen and luteinizing hormone surges, often enhancing social interaction, confidence, and communication skills. Recognizing these patterns allows women to align tasks and activities with their natural strengths rather than working against their biology. The luteal phase, following ovulation, is dominated by progesterone, which promotes rest, recovery, and reflection. During this time, women may experience lower energy, heightened introspection, and increased sensitivity. By honoring this phase, adjusting workloads, and focusing on self-care, women can reduce stress, maintain productivity, and optimize overall well-being. Understanding these natural rhythms transforms the cycle from a monthly challenge into a framework for optimizing life. Instead of viewing menstruation as inconvenient, it becomes a guide for energy management, emotional regulation, and physical performance. Women who embrace this perspective often report feeling more in control, less frustrated, and more attuned to their body's needs. Practical strategies to harness the power of your menstrual cycle include tracking symptoms, energy levels, and emotional patterns throughout each phase. By maintaining a simple diary or using cycle tracking apps, women can identify patterns and plan activities accordingly. For example, if a woman notices heightened focus and energy during the follicular phase, she can schedule important meetings or challenging tasks during this time. Similarly, recognizing that the luteal phase may involve fatigue or emotional sensitivity allows for planning lighter workloads, prioritizing restorative activities, and preparing nutritious meals that support hormonal balance. Small adjustments aligned with the natural cycle can lead to significant improvements in productivity, mood stability, and overall quality of life. Exercise is another area where understanding the cycle provides tangible benefits. Certain phases are better suited for strength training, high-intensity workouts, or endurance activities, while others benefit from gentle movement like yoga, stretching, or walking. By matching exercise intensity with hormonal fluctuations, women can optimize performance, reduce injury risk, and improve recovery. For example, high-intensity interval training during the follicular phase may be more effective due to increased energy and pain tolerance, whereas moderate-intensity workouts during the luteal phase support recovery and reduce the risk of fatigue or burnout. Recognizing these patterns allows for a more efficient and effective approach to physical fitness. Nutrition plays a complementary role in leveraging the menstrual cycle as a superpower. Each phase has different nutritional needs, based on hormonal shifts. During the follicular phase, when estrogen is rising, focusing on protein, complex carbohydrates, and anti-inflammatory foods supports energy and tissue repair. During ovulation, including antioxidants, zinc, and vitamins help support reproductive function and immune health. In the luteal phase, magnesium, calcium, and vitamin B6 help stabilize mood, reduce bloating, and ease physical discomfort. Hydration and balanced meals throughout all phases are essential to maintaining energy and hormonal balance. Paying attention to the interplay between diet and cycle phases maximizes the benefits of natural hormonal rhythms. Stress management also intersects with this concept of menstrual empowerment. Elevated stress levels disrupt hormonal balance, making cycles irregular, increasing cramp severity, and amplifying premenstrual symptoms. By incorporating relaxation techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or even short daily mindfulness practices, women can maintain hormonal equilibrium, reduce physical discomfort, and improve emotional regulation. The cycle then becomes a guide for self-care rather than a source of frustration. Stress reduction during critical phases of the cycle allows women to harness energy when it is high and recover effectively when it is low. This cyclical approach to lifestyle planning promotes harmony with the body rather than conflict. Sleep, as always, is another essential element. Quality rest supports hormone production, mood regulation, cognitive function, and physical recovery. Aligning sleep schedules with the natural rhythm of the cycle enhances energy during high-demand phases and supports recovery during lower energy phases. Women who integrate sleep hygiene with cycle awareness report fewer premenstrual symptoms, reduced fatigue, and improved emotional resilience. This holistic approach, considering sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress, creates a synergistic effect, allowing women to experience their periods as manageable, informative, and empowering rather than disruptive. The overarching message is that your period is a powerful tool for self-awareness and optimization. Instead of viewing menstruation as a nuisance or relying solely on interventions like birth control, women can embrace their cycle as a natural rhythm that provides guidance for physical performance, emotional regulation, and lifestyle planning. By understanding the phases of the cycle, tracking symptoms, aligning activities, and addressing nutritional and lifestyle needs, women can transform their menstrual experience from one of confusion and discomfort into one of insight, strength, and empowerment. Menstruation, when understood correctly, becomes a blueprint for living in alignment with the body rather than against it. Embracing the period as a superpower also has profound implications for long-term health. Regularly ignoring or suppressing the body's signals through medication without understanding underlying causes can mask important health issues, from hormonal imbalances to nutrient deficiencies. By contrast, monitoring cycles, interpreting symptoms, and making informed lifestyle adjustments supports not only immediate comfort, but also long-term reproductive and metabolic health. Women who take this approach often experience reduced pain, more predictable cycles, improved energy levels, and greater emotional resilience. They learn to work with their biology rather than against it, resulting in a more harmonious relationship with their bodies. Finally, viewing menstruation as a superpower changes the narrative around femininity and health. For too long, women have been taught that periods are inconvenient, painful, or something to endure silently. This narrative fosters resignation rather than empowerment. Understanding the science behind cycles, the influence of lifestyle and nutrition, and the role of natural rhythms shifts this perspective dramatically. Menstruation becomes an opportunity to observe patterns, experiment with strategies that improve comfort and performance, and develop a deep, informed connection with one's body. This approach transforms monthly cycles from frustrating experiences into practical tools for self-knowledge, health optimization, and personal empowerment. The ultimate takeaway from these insights is that periods are not just a biological event to tolerate, they are a communication system, a reflection of health, and a tool for optimization. By questioning common myths, exploring natural approaches, and learning to harness the power of each phase, women reclaim control over their bodies. They move beyond passive acceptance and into active engagement, making choices that improve comfort, performance, and long-term health. Recognizing the period as a superpower encourages women to embrace their biology, understand their unique rhythms, and use this knowledge to live healthier, more empowered lives. When menstruation is reframed as a source of insight rather than a burden, the entire relationship with one's body changes, creating a foundation for improved well-being, resilience, and confidence in managing reproductive and overall health. So today, we uncovered 6 truths about your period. It's a health signal. Cramps are not normal. PMS is more than mood swings. Cycles reveal deficiencies. birth control isn't the only fix, and your period can actually be your superpower. Remember, knowledge is power, and your body deserves your attention. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe to Woman Healthy Tips, and comment below with the biggest period myth you've been told. Let's bust them together. You have the power to take control of your health, and it starts with understanding your body. Your period isn't a mystery, it's a guide.